I'm Darren Clark, I'm business manager at South Centre Volkswagen. We've got leasing, financing, and what we call a select or balloon payment that you can do as well. I like leasing the best. The reason why I like leasing the best is it gives you a lot of different options. Hopefully this never happens, but let's say you're leasing a vehicle, you drive the vehicle off onto Deerfoot and you hit a deer. There's $20,000 damage on the vehicle. They fix the vehicle. If you're financing that vehicle, what happens with it is when you go to resell the vehicle, it's not worth as much as it would be if it didn't have that damage on it. With a leased vehicle, you have that option to return the vehicle at the end of the lease, and you don't have to worry about that damage to the vehicle. So it's kind of an insurance policy. With leasing, a lot of people are worried about interest rates and everything else, and what people should worry about is what the payment is. You're leasing to get a low monthly payment, so it really doesn't matter if it's a 15% interest rate, as long as you're comfortable with making the $200, $300 a month payments. A lot of people say, I don't want to rent a vehicle, I want to own a vehicle. The difference between leasing and financing, you can still buy out a leased vehicle at any time. There's no problem doing that. You can still trade it in at any time, just like financing. You can give it back at the end, whereas with financing you can't. So there's a lot of benefits as opposed to detriments to leasing.
I think that it's very, very, very important to address some of the preconceived notions that customers have with respect to it. First of all, there is open-ended and close-ended leasing. Now, a lot of domestic manufacturers used to use the open-ended leasing. And this is where, unfortunately, leasing got its bad name. Because what would happen is, as we know with a lease, you are given an end value or a residual value. When the lease was up, the customers would come back to the dealership and they would want to return the vehicle. Well, open-ended leasing is very much like balloon financing. So you make your 4 years worth of payments, but then here's your balance. There is really no option to hand it back. The dealership would go out and they would assess that person's vehicle, and they would look at it and go, well, your car's only worth this. So if you want to give it back, you're going to have to pay me this amount of money. And so a lot of people got a really bad taste in their mouth for what leasing is, when that was just one side of leasing and not necessarily the good side of leasing. Then we come to closed-ended leasing, which is what Volkswagen does. And it's something that I think one of the reasons why we've been able to continue on with leasing for so long is because our residual value is our final dollar amount. That is what your car is worth. And you have the ability as the customer to look at the market and go, is my car worth that? It is. Great. I'll buy it. And that's your value. We're not going to change that number on you. We can do an assessment on your vehicle and we can actually say, well, Mr. Customer, your buyout is $10,000 and it's only worth $8,000. Why would you keep it? Hand it back in and get something different. So there can definitely be a very positive thing to leasing, but it's very, very important that customers know the difference between open-ended and closed-ended leasing.
Like I said, I think leasing is one of the best ways to go. A lot of the other manufacturers have gone away from that because they were overinflating the residual values. With Volkswagen, we found that at the end of the lease, in most cases, we're getting 90 to 95%, I'd say, of our people are buying out the leases because there's equity in the vehicle. So it's not just for business owners, it's for everyone. Everyone that's just starting out in their lives, they just graduated, they're looking for a low monthly payment, but they want that nice car, and they deserve it. They just finished school and everything else, they deserve the nice car.
Another concern customers have when talking about leasing is they always talk about, well, I have to restrict my mileage. Back in the day, again, that may have been true because obviously the more mileage that's put on a vehicle, the less the value of the car actually is. With Volkswagen, we have diesel customers, and our diesel customers will drive anywhere from 20 to 50,000 kilometers a year. And we'll have customers that will want to lease because they're a business owner, and it makes sense to the books to do that. We can accommodate your driving habits, so we can do 16, 20, 25, 30, 35,000 kilometer year leases. So we can do that for you. And you still have a guaranteed residual value at the end. And what you're doing is you're buying your kilometers up front for cheap, as opposed to going over and being charged a larger sum. So you have the option. And part of my job as the finance manager is to, again, we do a needs assessment. We talk about where you're driving, what are you driving? Is your life going to change, or do you think your life's going to change, so that we can try and put you into an appropriate lease contract. And for the most part, the contracts that we put our customers in are bang on.
People need a lower monthly payment right now because of their financial situation. So what we do, my partner Shanna and myself, is we try to ask the qualifying questions to find out what actually is better for you. We don't care which way you do it. We just want you to buy a car. We're excited that you're buying a new vehicle. It's an exciting day for you. What we want to do is make sure that you're comfortable with your payments and comfortable with the way that you are making the payments. Basically what the business office is all about is it's the final step in the process of purchasing a vehicle. We're here to, it's a fun time. I know giving up money is not very fun, but driving off in your new vehicle is. We try to make that whole transition process very easy for you. We try to make it fun, enjoyable, and hopefully by the end of the day you're going to come back wanting to buy another car from us.
Hi guys! I'm Shanna Leonti, the finance manager here at South Centre Volkswagen. Come on down and visit me and my partner Darren Clark. We're going to do our very best to try to make your car buying experience an absolutely fantastic one. We really sincerely hope that these little videos that we've put together for you have given you some inside information, some knowledge that you wouldn't have gotten anywhere else, and really make you feel comfortable with coming down and trusting us with your hard-earned money. And we really look forward to seeing you.